and the magic machine tells me that I'm live. So I'll take its its word for it that I'm live. It's a metaphor. I don't. It's a metaphor, and I don't need no machine to tell me that I'm alive. I'm alive, but I'm not mad. I'm not mad as hell. I make it going because that's my style. AI, generative AI practices in art and in writing. People get excited, start saying things, start making arguments. And I've always, I'm really entertained, especially because to see these arguments, Tim Frey, first in the live chat, gold medal on to you for live chat participation on YouTube. To see these arguments now in the art space and in the writing space, because I don't think Julia Connor, first on Kick, welcome to the proceedings. I don't think people I don't think people realize how many of these arguments are the exact same arguments. I think many of these anti-AI art, let's stay to AI art because we're going to be talking about and thinking and looking at the arguments being put forward by one vocal AI art critic known as the art mentor on YouTube. Um, I don't think people reflect on how many of these arguments are the exact same arguments that, from a technology perspective, are the exact same arguments that we saw put forward about hip hop music. That's not music. They're just playing records. In fact, it's theft. It's stealing. They're just Keith. I remember Keith Richards on MTV. Man, they're not just stealing. They're not stealing just your song, man. They're stealing your actual riff, man. Shout out to Mario Heat, bringing the heat. No, no, no. Don't worry about the topic. We won't miss the opportunity. Hulk Hogan, racist impulse. Um, if you know, you know. Speaking of digital signal processing, at a cost. I'm sorry. Me and Mario go way back, so excuse me for tokenizing the dead. Folks, no. Okay, Tim, you kind of back of the bus, Waldo. Um, and Pablo Picasso, great artists, good artists borrow, great artists steal. Where I'm going with this is people oftentimes say things that they think are amazingly profound and smart. Hey, look, takes one to know one that when someone may show up on the scene, pay attention to the contents of this video, though the videos go long because I know you want it in 7.5 minutes. I know you want it in 12, but folks, it's called making points. It's going to take us a while to get there. But yeah, these arguments are, they're not principled. They're impassioned, we get it. I think a lot of people are fearful. I think a lot of people are motivated by reaction, anxiety. That's okay, it's understandable. But if you take the time and think about, as we're gonna look at with the art mentor, an ad hominem is an ad hominem. A hyperbolic statement is a hyperbolic statement, and at the end of the day, technologies and tools are technologies and tools, and in a changing landscape, it is what it is. And not to be it is not my agenda to engage in ad hominems, but when we look at certain people making arguments regarding things, we can look at the whole thing. And I'm not saying the art mentor is being disingenuous in his stance about AI, but I will say that the art mentor, we're going to look at his channel, is a person with skin in the game. He's an artist for hire. He's an art educator. He's an artist for hire. And just like the YouTubers out here, take this, do this, pay attention to my channel, I'm going to tell you to do this. He's the art mentor. He's got a bill of goods to sell you, and he's speaking to a niche audience, that niche audience being artists. And I don't think AI art protocols work with his methodology and point of view. I don't know. I'm not going to try and put words in his mouth, and it's not important. I don't need to, because the fact of the matter is the man's logic is flawed. I think that's the result of the fact that he's impassioned. I don't know if he will ever see this video. If he does, he may have an opportunity to improve his line of argumentation, because within 45 seconds of seeing his work and his videos on the subject of AI art, I saw him commit gross logical fallacies, make statements that are indefensible. And I don't say that because you can't say that about AI art, but because if you say these things in a high school debate club, you will have committed an egregious error in making successful debate points and in raising and making a successful argument. Easy one, right? When someone says, everyone who does X, Y, or Z, that's impossible. You know that they've said something that is wrong, because all cats are gray. No, not all cats are gray. All men are dogs. What? Come on. That's why we know that things like racism, sexism are bad, because overgeneralizing doesn't work. All Fords are pieces of crap. Well, no, there's a Ford out there that's gonna be just humming from the day it came off the lot to, I can't believe that it's 22 years old and it's still going. And the exception that proves the rule is just a turn of phrase, but it's actually the exception that disproves the rule. And if you're trying to make solid points worth making to 45,000 viewers, he's got great views. You want to make sure your arguments are rock solid, or some Weisenheimer who's going to get 100 views on his video is going to make you look like a person who's just either damn scared, quite possibly reasonably so, about what the AI art revolution is going to mean to his ability to move. I said no ad hominems, but I'm going to tell you something. I've seen Frank Frazetta works in person. Okay? Remember that line from that vice presidential debate when that dude turned to Quayle and said, "You know, I met JFK Jr., and you're no JFK Jr." Look, I know you work in digital art, okay? You know, it's like he's one of these digital artists too. Now I'm getting to the ad. I'm sorry. Dude, that's nothing. A lot of these people that come down on AI art, you know what I mean? It's like they're digital artists, you know what I mean? Like, do you know how to stretch a canvas? I'm not saying he doesn't know how to stretch a canvas. He probably, look, I don't know how to stretch a canvas, but look, do I do AI art? Yeah, I do. Does that make me an artist? I don't know. Does it? Hey, listen, there's a lot of people that look at Jackson Pollock and say he wasn't an artist. Was he an artist? I think he was. Was Mark Rothko? Mark Rothko is my favorite artist of all time. A lot of people look at Mark Rothko's work and says, my kid could do that. Number one, the kid couldn't, but what I was saying about Frank Frazetta is I've seen Frank Frazetta oil painting in person, and I've seen this guy, the art mentor's work on Instagram. And I'm going to tell you something, baby. I love you. I love you. As a child of God, your look. I get it, but I'm going to tell you something. Hey, for what it's worth, my ambient music, I'm no Brian Eno. Okay? So believe you me, that's what I could do for you. Is I can admit that I'm no Brian Eno. But honey bun, you are no Frank Frazetta. And I have a feeling that part of the reason that you're so effed up about the AI art is because now, thanks to AI art, douchebags like me, right? It sucks. I get it, dude. Right? It sucks. What are you gonna do? Right? How do you think the guys felt on the assembly line when all of a sudden the robots could start putting the cars together? What are we gonna do? Turn off all the technology? What are we gonna do? It's a tool. But anyway, we're gonna get to your video, right? Hey, listen, Mario he points out I'm also no Trent Reznor, right? Babies, I'm not even. Can I tell you something? You want listen? Can I tell you something? With all the effects pedals I've bought, I ain't even Merzbow. It's like you got to try to do that, right? Huh? But anyway, let's get to looking at some art mentor arguments, and we'll just pause. Fair use, fair use, fair use. I hope you understand. It's fair use. It ain't personal. And I'm not an AI art bro. First of all, we're gonna go through the things that. But I'm telling you something. Red Rooster is just making some AI art. There you go. Hey, Catherine, we got Catherine here. We got Chegs Chambers over here, baby. Ah, there you go. We love y'all. There you go. Jonas Side's here with us as well. Don't want to miss anybody. There you go. We're gonna get there. And look, it's nothing personal. It could people get impassioned. It could get that way. But also remember, a lot of the people out here making these arguments about generative writing and generative art, be honest with yourself and be integrated. If it's that you're upset because you're scared about your livelihood, acknowledge that, but also acknowledge that it's capitalism. It's not the AI. It's capitalism. Okay, and also when you have to pivot because the rules have changed, you have to pivot because the rules have changed, and it's just the way it is. And if the argument is, oh, but what would you do if the electronics turned off? Yeah, well, what would the electric guitarists do? They don't play acoustic guitar? Yeah, well, how many people know how to make acoustic? Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. The art mentor. Okay, we're looking at a video called, I think we're going to look at this video for the last video that he made. I got one called, from a month ago. Let's see this queued up. Here we go. Pause it. First from the start. Okay, this is a 27 minute and 11-second video, so it'll take me 5 hours to get through it. It's called. He also made a video called AI Art is Dying, parts 1 and 2. I like this guy. Some background. I'm not going to do I'm not trying to dox anyone, but he puts his material that he is a professional art educator. I will give him that, online and offline. I have nothing but respect for this individual as a human being. Okay? He is entitled to his opinions about AI art. I will be doing my best to look at his arguments. I hope he sees this video because if he does, he can improve his arguments because some of the things he says are not worth saying because they may be good for views as far as appealing to people who, if his agenda is to just appeal to people who hate AI art and will like subscribe to him because he says things that they like, that's great. But if he wants to make good arguments, it would behoove him to listen to me because some of the arguments that he makes and some of the statements he makes are just bad, bad, bad statements because not because that you shouldn't say that that's a bad statement, but because they don't help him make his point because they hurt his point because you'll say it it's they're ad hominems and they are hyperbolic. Duh. How many times can I say the same thing? There we go. Share. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Don't be a jerk. It's fair use. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Here's our boy. Also, I'm not Trent Reznor, right? I wonder what kind of music this guy listens to, right? Safety dance. Only I actually graduated high school in 1993, right? I have a feeling Young Buck is like, you know what I mean, part of the post Marilyn Manson generation. This guy is too young to be looking this much like what me and my friends, wore to Man Ray in Boston. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot like life. I got your number, baby. Don't tell me I don't have your number, baby. Artist. Douchebag. Also, I want to say to people like he's going to say over and over again that he's an artist. He's an artist. He's an artist. I checked out his LinkedIn. I'm not going to dox anybody. When I used to work at Sam Ash in Paramus, New Jersey, there was like a hot girl that got hired like to work the cash register, and She like, of course, we were all like gathered around, like what to impress her, right? And they were all like, everyone was going around. One person was like, "Yeah, I'm a drummer, like in such and such. I'm a studio." And we got this one guy in front of me next to, like, we were all running around in a circle, like, "I'm this, I'm this, I'm this," and everyone's like saying these like overwrought things, like, "I'm a studio engineer, blah blah blah," and the guy next to me was like, "Yeah, I'm a session bass player," and I was like, and it got to me, and I looked her right in the eye, and I was like, "Hi, I'm Benjamin. I work at Sam Ash." She was the most impressed by me because I was honest about not that you are where you work, right? But yes, you are an art. Like, he's absolutely an artist. I could tell you something, right? He could also be like, like, you know what I mean? It's like they say, like, those who can do, and those who can't do teach. He's an art educator. Okay. He's absolutely an artist, but he's absolutely also an art educator. Look, I suck. I suck at art, right? I did do art before AI art, right? My AI art is garbage, right? I wouldn't call myself an artist. I wouldn't call myself anything in particular. I'm one of these guys. I'm one of these Namaste brothers who are like, you know what I mean? When I was born, they put a name on me. Is that who I am? Do you know what I mean? Post the psychedelic experience, the ego starts to anyway. Let's listen to the art mentor start saying things that, if he ever watches this video, he might not express the same way again, unless he has a contracting ego response and doesn't learn his lessons. When I spank him, I'm sorry, I get this way, I apologize, I take a breath, watch this up. I love you. Fair use.
AI is the future of art. Why do all AI art projects fail?
All AI projects fail. That is a hyperbolic statement. What does that mean? All AI projects fail. What does it mean to fail? If I do AI art all the time, I guess that's my AI art project. It brings me life satisfaction. Does that mean it fails? How about all the people that sell AI art related garbage? They call it slop, but people do it. Why? Because it brings them some sort of monetary remuneration. The people that just do it for monetary remuneration, right? I guess that's an AI project. We all know that there are D&D admitted, WotC, Hasbro admitted that there was AI art in some of those TTRPG books, D&D books that they sell. We know that there's AI art in a lot of publications. So I guess not all AI art projects fail by definition, dude. That is a hyperbolic, overblown statement. To defend the statement that all AI art projects fail, all AI art worldwide would have had to fail. I went to a vacation on the boardwalk. We've been to multiple boardwalks this summer. Many kiosks were using AI art so that they could present kind of elaborate video displays that would be the sort of stuff that, previously only like a McDonald's or like a Pizza Hut could have. Those are AI art projects. Were those failures? It's an indefensible statement, bro. By a lot. Go find me a philosophy professor that will say that that statement is defensible. It's not.
Let me watch you draw this. Let's rip apart every AI art project.
This is his work. Look at his work. Not for nothing. Why is he pissed off? Because his shit looks just like AI art. No fucking offense. Bro, there is no one who produces gallery quality murals or oil paintings that actually, I was just about to do what I accused him of doing, right? I was about to just make one of these, there is no blah, 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 that makes these arguments. I will say the following. Many of the people that I see, many of the people, not all, many of the people that I see making these anti AI art statements are the people that end up what? Producing work that is what? This genre based stuff in digital mediums That is exactly the stuff that is produced by AI art. I know people that produce large mural works, that produce large oil canvas stuff, that don't say things about AI art because it's not in direct competition with what they do. Maybe not yet. I don't know.
Out there, and let's take away some really positive message for honest creators just like you that I think you need to hear.
Look, again, real artists are this. People who use AI are not real artists. We heard that hip hop is not real music. Rock and roll is not real music, right? And it's exact. You know what I mean? You use a sampler. That's not real music. You use electronic. You make you techno. Techno's not real music. That's music you buy. That's not music you make. That's not real music, right? 4:33 by John Cage. Is that real music? Was Alvin Lucier a real musician? Because many of Alvin Lucier's compositions were not achievable without its electronic music. Many of Brian Eno's compositions were generative by nature. Generative by nature. And there are many of these people that I see making these statements about AI art and how it's just made by a machine. It's just made by a machine. That, if you ask them, probably have electronic musicians that they know and love, that they love. And you can say to them, you're aware of the fact that those people use generative. Yep. Take care. Do you know that they use generative technology with the generation of some of their tunes? Because they did.
And now let's bruise some AI egos.
Bruise some AI egos. So, what's your agenda? Do you have an argument to make? Or is this about hurting other people? Is this about creation? Or is it about something else? Right?
All right, let's start this one off with a bang. And based on the amount of feedback that I got from people that wanted to see this from my last video, here we go. Let's rip into AI video. First and foremost with this one, you might have heard about this world's first AI film that came out, and it's called Where the Robots Grow. And if you've not seen this big stinking trash bucket of a piece of crap, now might be your time that you want to go ahead and have a good laugh at.
Again, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, if you've got all the judgment, like right up, it's just judgment. I'm actually going to dump out of this video because there's another one that I like better.
This one out here. Now, according to most articles like this one, it's going to say that this was mostly AI generated. Now, I've also heard conflicting reports that say that it's just been enhanced with AI.
I'm gonna dump out of this one because there was another one that I saw by him before that I actually liked better. AI art's been dying for 2 years, and I predicted it. Maybe this one, I think, but I watched a little bit more of this one, so let me see this one. Check back in with you guys. Mario, that not music. No, that's Mario. He tried to start some shit. He totally listens to Sleep Token. There you go. You guys, I see what you're trying to do. Oh no. Oh no. I see. I am a fan of Pragmagic, though Pragmagic is not a fan of AI. I understand. I understand. God bless him. God bless the child. AI art's been dying for 2 years, and I predicted. I also predicted that I could plan this video better by knowing what I was going to watch beforehand. Also, geez, this I gotta tell you something though, folks. Hold on. I shit you not. Does he wear the same outfit in every video? Holy crap. Anyway, here we go.
2 years ago, I made this video. AI art bros lost their minds, and artists
Again, AI art bros lost their minds. Okay. First of all, AI art bros. You set me up for an easy one on this one. It's sexist. There's no reason to make it gendered because not all utilizers of AI are men, right? And it's sexist in two ways. Number one, we know what his stance on AI is. We know that he doesn't like it, right? So it's besmirching men. He's implying that AI art is stupid and therefore only dudes do it, right? So only dudes are stupid enough to use AI. Classy. Classy, San Diego. But he's a dude, so I guess it's like, you know what I mean?
felt
I don't want to assume his gender, but whatever, you know what I mean? That guy, I'm being cute. I'm not being cute.
hopeful. But looking back, was I right?
Well, probably not, but let's see.
Today, we're going to revisit every single one of my original points, present some new evidence and some new arguments for you, and help you to just come to understand AR is still dying.
Help us understand it. I don't think you're going to help us understand it. I think you're going to make what you think are good points, but I don't know if you're going to help us understand it. But we'll see. Let's see what happens.
Now, my first prediction was a doozy, which is that AI users are not in it for the right reasons. And let's not even call them artists.
AI artists are not in it for the right reasons. Now he's talking about everyone who like, what is an AI artist? Like, is this anyone who uses AI to do any sort of art? And we're not assuming that the tag AI artist would apply to us, that we're not in for the right reasons. He's talking about a whole class of people that he's never met. It's an impossibility to think that he's ever met everybody that's used AI art tools. It's a tool, ladies and gentlemen. This is the equivalent of saying, let's face it, folks, and I am telling you with 100% certitude, these arguments replicate 100% the arguments that were made in the past that with people that when word processors came on the scene. You best believe that there were writers that said word processing. Writing is done like this on a manual or electric typewriter. I produce a beautiful manuscript, typing with 2 fingers on an electric typewriter or a manual typewriter at speed. Word processing takes the natural writer's craft and makes it a process more akin to editing. You know, all this bullshit. It is what it is, man. He's entitled to his opinion, but that's all it is. It's an opinion. He just made a hyperbolic, overblown statement about all AI artists, which is by definition ridiculous. It's a closed-minded statement by a dude. We've seen his work. Okay. This dude, what they used to call these people, fuckface. I'm sorry, you're a draftsman, right? Maybe he produces work in his spare time that's not the shit. It's D&D commission work, bro. I love you. You're a child of God, but come on, you want to sling shit? I'll sling shit, but I'm not talking about all people who do D&D. I'm talking about you. You know, this is stuff. We get it. I get it. Yeah, it sucks, bro. It sucks. I get it. It sucks. You know what I mean? You know, Cleopatra Records returned my demo tape back in '97. You know what I mean? I can't believe they signed those guys.
let's just call them what they are, which is that they are customers. And
they are customers, right? They bought their. Meanwhile, he's a digital artist, right? He's a digital artist. Did he not buy his tablet? His friggin', his thing that he, his light pen that he does on his thing and his laptop and his shit. You're a customer too, bro. It's digital art, bro. Just, it's a tool. It's a tool. You know what I mean? What do you want, man?
just this one statement alone made AI bros lose their mind.
It made some AI bros lose their. It made some AI art users who chose to respond to you negatively in the comment section that you chose to respond to emotionally lose their minds. If you want to characterize it that way, believe you me, I know what it's like. You know what I mean? People respond to me in my comment section. One guy will respond to me in my comment section. I'll shut my channel down for a month. I know how it is.
But just to back it up, what AI art actually does is it just forces you out of the role of creator into the role of a consumer.
Is that what it does? Show your work. Well, how is that what it does? Is that what it does? Many artists use iterative processes. Man Ray. You know what I mean? Like, it's many ways to create art. Collage. You know what I mean? I hate to tell you this, man. You know what I mean?
Where you're not an active participant in it. And
you are an active participant in it if you choose to be. There's many ways to do AI art, bro. You know what I mean? Whether it's working on your prompts, whether it's, to be just collecting, it just is what it is, man.
The reason why I state this and why I still stand by this to this day is simply because of the fact that AI users are not interested in art,
AI art users are not interested in art. Think of that statement. That's an indefensible statement. Again, AI artists, a class of people. What is an AI artist? Is an AI artist anyone who uses AI in any aspect of their art production? He doesn't define the term, right? They are not interested in art. I'm assuming, for argument's sake, that I actually fit the ultimate exemplar of what an AI artist is for this person, in the sense that I will produce work that is wholly produced in the space of AI. Some stuff that I produce is wholly in the space of AI, and therefore I fit within the Venn diagram of AI artists for this person. I will also tell you, I mentioned my appreciation of the work of Mark Rothko. I mentioned my appreciation of Jackson Pollock. I've been to art museums. I love art. I'm aware of the history of art. I read Mark Rothko's autobiography. I have no interest in art. I'm not the exception to your rule. I disprove your rule. You're just being a jerk about things. You are. You're just being a close-minded jerk. You may have valid criticisms about AI art and its use in regards to young artists developing tools and talents, but they are lost because you're just being a shitbag. You are.
interested in the process, not interested in actually bringing themselves, but
they're not interested in the product. They're not interested in blah, 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 blah.
They're only interested in the final product, in the
They're only interested in the final product. Oh, really? Okay.
Result. And I would best go ahead and defend it just like this. If AI art had never become a thing, would those AI artists still be creators?
Possibly. You have no idea what would have happened if, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? What if the electric guitar had never been invented? What if there were no computers? You know what I mean? What if Adolf Hitler was never born? You'll never know. We'll never know.
Of course they would not.
Of course they would not, he says. Everyone who is currently within the undefined Venn diagram of AI artists for this person, if AI art had never been a thing, would never be a creative. So says the art mentor. Sir, you are not qualified to call yourself the art mentor as far as I'm concerned. You are qualified. If anyone wants to do what I did as far as looking at his description box, following his name, looking up his name, and looking at his LinkedIn, you'll see exactly who he actually is and where he actually works. Okay. You can then reflect on your experience with these people in these job descriptions and say to yourself, yeah, you are exactly where you possibly belong, and it's okay, coach.
because you can't rely on a technology to make you a creator. A creator is something that you choose to be and that you choose.
It is. Hey, listen, let me ask you something. Was Sid Vicious a musician? Was he a creator? Did he choose to be a creator? Would he have chosen to be a creator? Pa, pa, pa. Right? It's so, these arguments are so flaccid. Absolutely. Penguin Zero, Charlie, it sounds like a real genius when he just goes, AI artist, blah. You know what I mean? Joe Rogan, a lot of people think he's really smart. These are stupid arguments. It's not that arguments about AI cannot be articulated. It's just there's a lot of people articulating arguments about AI that they think are smart when in fact those arguments are facile.
To sustain. In the same vein of thought, though, without digital art, I would still be an artist. But you
Okay, that's great. That's a personal statement that you're qualified to make about yourself because know thyself. You're you. You're not qualified to make a statement about all AI artists because you are not God. Get it? Why you would think you were qualified to make a statement about all quote unquote AI artists when how would one define that term is beyond me. Well, it's actually not beyond me because I live on planet Earth and I meet people, human beings all the time. And I'm very much aware of the fact that why people, the kind of things that people say all the time, because people are stupid. Hold on, I got to blow my nose.
can't say the same for AI users now, can you?
Yeah, you can. You absolutely can. Here, watch me. If I was not, if AI had never come along, I still might have been, I still would be a creative. Why? Well, I was creative before AI art. And in the same way, there might be similarly situated people, people like me, who, despite the fact, first of all, AI art has been around for just like what, a couple of years. So, like maybe 1 or 2 years. So, who was, there might be people like me who just became artists or discovered creativity through AI art, but who would still have become creative without it. See? Bah.
Continue. See that, y'all? That's a big difference. That's a big power move that you are.
That's not a power move. That's a stupid statement that you just made. See, here, watch, I'll do something similar. You see, folks, I'm alive and I'm in front of you right now, whereas this guy is paused. You see, I have magical powers. I can pause it with a click of my button. That's one power that I have that this individual doesn't have. He may have more subscribers and more views than I do, but he doesn't have the power to pause me. You see? That's one thing that I have on top of him. What?
Artists have over them. And then to further back this up, every once in a while I get one of these weird messages like,
hi, I've seen a couple of your YouTube videos. I know you're not a big fan of AI or the AI art community, but just want to drop by and tell you that AI art and artists have matured quite a bit since the introduction a couple of years ago. I would like to tell you that I have always loved all art and what artists have contributed to the world of art. I know we don't see AI art the same way, but I would like to invite you to check out my work and give me your thoughts and honest opinion. I put a lot of work and effort into my work and not just prompting. I think you do a great job with your art pieces, but with technology, we can utilize these tools to make beautiful art and take it to the next level, including you. I always believe beautiful and meaningful art comes from heart and mind of the artist, not just the pen, paper, and now a computer robot. Okay, I think that that's a nice statement, right? I don't know if you agree with me. You are entitled to your own opinion. Let's see what the art mentor has as a response to not just this statement, but he says that he gets responses like this. So he's about to give us, I surmise, a statement about how he feels in general and how he responds in general to nice things like receiving nice sentiments like this. Take it away, baby.
Like somebody trying to prove their point to me about this, and it just comes off as
Someone trying to prove their point? Actually, it sounds to me like someone trying to reach out and be nice to you and open up a line of dialogue and communication. That's my fair read of it as an English speaker and reader, but apparently you have a different take on it.
somewhere between passive aggressive and completely arrogant and self.
Passive aggressive and arrogant. I got to go to my live chat. Folks, can I get a what? Was that passive aggressive? I'm sorry. Who's with me in the live chat? I need a human being. I need some feedback. Red Rooster says, I love this guy. No, he characterized he characterized what I just read as passive aggressive. As quote unquote trying to prove a point and passive aggressive. I have to read that again. I have to Red Rooster. Oh my God, I love you. Is this the Scott Garrity of AI? First of all, folks, I just want to point out with a live chat like this, right? Who needs the art mentor? Okay, folks. If people wonder why I occasionally, okay, crash out, quote unquote, within the walls of my compound, it's that High on Fire song, Surrounded by Thieves, okay? Maniacs, mad people, and Catherine. It's incredible. Okay, here's it. Right, Red Rooster. He needs to read more nice comments and twist the hell out of them. I gotta rewind. No, thank you. I gotta rewind. So let's read again the statement that the AI art that the, I'm sorry, I'm getting twisted. Let's read again the statement that the art mentor just characterized as passive aggressive. And I'm just gonna go ahead and, for argument's sake, assume that should the art mentor ever see this video, he will not be able to, he may not be able to digest it in a positive light. Okay. Hey, you know what I mean? My job is threatened by AI. Well, I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, I don't do a hell of a lot of document review. You know what I mean? I still do customer, and client relations, and it's still built on trust. But anyway, I want to see that. I want to see that thing that he characterized as passive aggressive. I totally lost it. Holy shit. Let me do it again.
Finding is that those users, a lot of them, because I see them every single time I make one of my videos, they've actually come out and said, hey, look, I'm actually getting back into my art. This makes them and get to know them. And it's the same thing with the generations. You don't care about them. I'll put this into another how much you love this thing and you're sincerely interested in art with 2,000 I get one of these weird messages, like somebody.
One of these weird messages. Okay, one of these weird messages. Again, these weird messages that he characterized as passive aggressive. Focus, folks. Weird message that he calls passive aggressive. Hi, I've seen a couple of your YouTube videos. I know you're not a big fan of AI or the AI art community, but just want to drop by and tell you that AI art and artists have matured quite a bit since the introduction a couple of years ago. I would like to tell you that I've always loved all art and what artists have contributed to the world of art. I'm correcting things here. I know we don't see AI art the same way, but I would like to invite you to check out my work and give me your thoughts and honest opinion. I put a lot of work and effort into my work, not just prompting. I think you do a great job with your art pieces, but with technology, we can utilize these tools to make beautiful art and take it to the next level, including you. I always believe beautiful and meaningful art comes from heart and mind of the artist, not just the pen, paper, or now a computer robot. I mean, I uh I think you do a great job with your art pieces, but with technology, we can utilize these tools to make beautiful art and take it to the next level. And I guess the including you, I guess that including you may be able to be interpreted as possibly passive aggressive. You know what I mean? But if you're really looking for it, but I gotta tell you something, baby. You know what I mean? It's a bit pathological. It could be characterized as a bit pathological, possibly. Honey Bunch, I love you, child
Trying
of
to
God.
prove their point to me about this, and it just comes off as somewhere between passive aggressive and completely arrogant. It's
Passive aggressive and completely arrogant. You, unlike some people I know. I might actually, I don't know this dude. I like his hoodie though. I'm sure it's not for sale. I'm sure it's not for sale.
self-aggrandizing. And then they send me a link to their DeviantArt with 2,000 images.
Oh my God. What do you think about Andy Warhol? What do you think about Jeff Koons? Do you have an opinion about Jeff Koons and Andy Warhol? A lot of people do, including me. It's complicated, right? It's complicated. Art is a factory. It's weird. 2,000 generations? Strange. You know what I mean?
Over the last 2 years, you made 2,000 images, and you want to try and tell me how much you love this thing?
2,000 images in 2 years? That's 1,000 images a year. You produce 1,000 images a year. That means you're not an artist. There's a quota. No, there's a limit. No, to care about your art, you need to.
And you're sincerely interested in it, I'll just go ahead and put it to you like this, straight up. If you made 2,000 images, you don't care about any of them.
You don't. You don't. Well, you know, that's how you work. You work a certain way. Some artists do different things different ways. You know what I mean? You know, don't release everything you produce. Not all the iterations are keepers. It's a process. It's a different way of working. I'll argue. And people are free to disagree. But guess what? If the AI machines break down, we'll have these images saved, and it'll have been an era in humanity where the technology was able to produce these works. And if they don't, then, well, it's like the internet or any other new technology. And people like you will be remembered as the first people that came around and were the beginning of stop it, stop doing what you're doing. This is art is like this and like this, and people will be like, oh, people, it's just do what you want to do, but people are going to do what they're going to do, and why don't you do what you do and deal with it instead of making foolish arguments and insult other people when there's no need to. Because you sound like an asshole. You really do. And we'll get to your channel.
You don't care about them. I'll put this into another context for you here. If you're a parent and you have 20 children, you don't love any of them because
that's a fucked up thing to say. And I don't know anybody with 20 children, but pick a number. You have 9 children, you have 7 children, you have 6 children. There are people actually in the world who adopt multiple children because children need families and need love. You know what I mean? How about the artist? What book is your favorite? What's the favorite thing? You know, over the course of a lifetime, people produce multiple pieces of art. This is a stupid statement. You're just making stupid statements, bro. I'm a minute and 53 seconds into this dude's video, and all he does is make stupid ass statements. And he has, again, the AI art's been dying for 2 years, and I predicted it. Is it dying? What does this mean that it's dying?
You don't ever get the time to actually experience them and get to know them. And it's the
the hell is I agree. I mean, look, but it is what it is, bro.
Same thing with generations. Please. 2 years ago, what are we actually finding is that those users, a lot of them, because I see them every single time I make one of my videos, they've actually come out and said, hey, look, I'm actually getting back into my art. This actually revitalized my interest in it. I've abandoned AI because I actually want to get into this. And then this causes more and more vehement opposition to actually using this. And the one thing I definitely want to say is,
okay, so it's empirical evidence. So people contact you and say that is AI art dying because people contact you and say, some people contact you and say, oh yeah, because I watched your videos, I now see, because you shamed me, because I got bored with it, then I'm going back to traditional art. Okay, people can do what they want to do, man.
Is that there's no artist using AI that actually wants to.
There's no artist using AI that actually wants to. That's an indefensible statement. That's an indefensible statement. It's an indefensible statement. If there's one artist using AI that wants to, your statement is undefensible. And guess what? Nobody actually knows how many people are in the world, right? Somewhere between 7 billion and 9 billion people are the estimates based on the data that's collected by first world nations and estimates based on the other nations. And nobody really knows for sure, but it's somewhere, they say, and who the fuck knows who they are and what they're telling us and what those numbers are. But if we use those data points for argument's sake, 7 to 9 billion people, right? The subset that are artists working with, that are artists, the subset of those artists that work with digital tools, the subset of those digital tool using artists that work with AI. None of those artists that use AI want to. I produced art. Hold on. This is an unfinished work by me, not produced with AI, right? I make work like this. I made work like this prior to, and continue to make work like this prior to AI. So whether you like it or loathe it, I think I qualify as an outsider artist, right? An artist. I worked in collage. I work in mixed media. I work in paint. Okay. My mom likes my work. I still work in traditional mediums, even with AI existing. Red Rooster, can I buy that piece of art when it's finished? Okay. So I got to tell you, and I'm not just saying this because I'm trying to prove you wrong, but I'm saying this because it's a truism. I use AI art tools, and I like to. Therefore, your argument has been disproven. I'm an artist. I use AI art tools, and I do it so because I want to. Therefore, you can these nuts. Okay? And I'm going to circle back to the Frank Frazetta thing. Okay? Do you even know who Earl Otis is? Home Slice? Your shit is great. Your shit is okay, in my humble opinion. Okay? You're fucked up about AI art, possibly because you know damn well that every Tom, Dick, and Harriet can say Dragonborn with flaming sword vanquishes the nations of high school teachers. Teacher, fuck you, don't tell us what to do, and produce the shit that you do. And then they go in and gone are the days with the 5-finger discount automatically. 9 times out of 10, the fingers look okay now. And that means that your 11 upvotes on Reddit ad hominem for ad hominem, baby. You look hot on YouTube. Your numbers look hot on YouTube, on Reddit. Right? So the dude from Law and Order going to busting up Eric Stoltz's party, right? And say anything. No. Is that say anything? Not saying. What was the one? No. Not Eric Stoltz's party. James Spader's party in what was the one? Fuck. It's Eric Stoltz is the humble artist, and he's got the friend that really likes him who's the tomboy, and he wants to date the popular girl. And he some kind of wonderful, right? I'm walking in to your party. You'll never see this video, but I'm walking into your party like the dude that'll eventually be on Law and Order, who's like, man, this is what my girlfriend would look like without skin. And I'm being like, all I see is chicken shit. You're chicken shit. You. Let's get to this moron. I love you. You're cool, man. You're cool. It's cool. You're allowed to feel what you want to feel about AI. It's cool, man. Everyone's gonna eat, man. Everyone's gonna eat once we get rid of capitalism, dude. It's not AI. It's I'm gonna tell you what. If we get rid of capitalism, check this out. Here's what's the real deal. If we get rid of capitalism, my humble prediction: if we got rid of capitalism, all the racists would be like, you know what? Ah, and all the people beefing with each other about AI art because everyone would just be able to be artists, would be able to just be artists, and everyone would just be exchanging their shit. All the anti-AI people and all the writers would just be able to just live and shit and write and at their leisure. They just be like, you want to write your shit with computers? Fuck. And the people that didn't want to do AI art or were just using AI art because for shits and giggles would just do it and not try and need to publish it on work on put on t-shirts to sell because they wouldn't need to sell useless crap because people sell useless crap because they want to feed their families or themselves. Okay. People who are not really writers but put together crappy AI writing and shit to sell on Amazon, they're not doing it because they like want to fuck up people's lives by selling them bad writing. They're doing it because they're trying to make a dollar and a cent, right? They're trying to live. Get it? And people still wouldn't, you know what I mean? Look at your shit because you know what I mean? Nah, they would. They would.
They've just been bullied and belittled and put down to the point where they feel like they have to do it, or they've been fear mongered
Yeah, that's what's happening. Everyone's like making artists use AI art. That's what's happening. It's you know what I mean?
into it. And we're going to talk about all that today because that's a
God, we haven't even got to what he's talking about. Holy shit! I gotta put this thing on
big point
fast.
that I also
Hold on. Let me increase the speed. This is me. That's not on you, dude. That's me. That's me. That's me. That's on me. Of course, that's me. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Transformative work, transformative work. Don't you
want to
dare
continue to
say
bring
this
up.
is not
So as artists,
transformative
y'all,
work.
don't be scared of braving your own path and your own current skill set, which we'll talk about later in this video today too. So if I were to make another prediction for the next 2 years, I would say that more AI users are going to come out of this coping coma where they think AI can do everything that they say
Coping coma.
that it can't do. And we're going to talk about all that today too. And they're going to start to develop a greater sense of awareness that they already have and have been over the last couple of years. So
No.
did this cause AI art to die? I'm going to just say that this interest was dead on arrival.
Yeah.
Now, my next big point was that AI art has peaked and it has to rely now on gimmicks in order to sustain itself, in order to continue to drum up interest into it. And so what
Yeah. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I don't know if he's made a salient point, and I'm not trying to. I am here trying. I'm not trying to straw man this dude. I am not trying to straw man this dude, but I have not heard an argument. I have heard ad hominem attacks against the nebulous class of overgeneralized personalities known as AI artists. I have not heard that term defined. I'm having to define the term, assuming the definition of that term, meaning people who use AI to generate art, which would mean anyone who uses AI art tools. I don't know.
I mean by gimmicks is that they have to implement little tweaks and little fixes and little this and that. And it's basically like a bugged old game where it's still got the same issues. It's still got the same laggy performance, but they keep on trying to tweak it just to make it a little bit more tolerable. When in fact, what we'll actually go ahead and visit today is the fact that it still persists in every single one of the original limitations. And I will discuss and expose all of those today. But why is this necessary? It's necessary because otherwise they don't have anything else to go ahead and grab your interest. So what have we seen since this? Most recently, you've probably seen the Ghibli slop, haven't you? And you've seen all of these people that are posting all these memes, and you can go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, don't post. This is the same thing with noise music, and I agree. Look, in the sense, first of all, there are people that intentionally post the shit that it's like. Remember YouTube poop? You remember this trend from the beginning days of YouTube? Like people like intentionally making like crazy shit, like on like at like strange edits, and then put like YouTube. It was like intentionally crappy shit. Like first of all, a lot of this stuff is posted by people who are like, you see, AI art sucks, and then they intentionally go put in anime girl into like Mid-Journey because they're actual artists and they think AI sucks, and so they put it in and they come up with crap and then say post on Instagram and say AI sucks, or people put their AI art nightmares on and then this guy picks up and thinks this is what it does. If you want to pick out bad shit and use it as an exemplar, you'll pick out, like, if you want to say it's like the racists who take every article that they can find of a African immigrant committing a crime in Europe and say, you see, the immigrants from Africa are destroying Europe. Meanwhile, if they had taken the rest of the newspaper, every other thing that's going on in that country was done by some other European, right? You'll produce a vision of the world that looks like garbage, right? I get it. You don't like AI art. You know what I mean?
Go ahead and put this image into here. And then before that, it was a Simpsons slop. And then before that, there was another big slew of slop. And you'll
yeah. They're
to see what's going on here. There's just little minor things that they do.
It's not a minor thing, dude. You can make this all of a sudden, dude. If you want to make Simpson stuff, you can make Simpson stuff. That's not a minor thing. That's awesome. You know what I mean? Homer in a thong beating the crap out of Genocide. I can never do that before. Now I can do that. That's not a minor thing. It's part of my regular subscription. The hell are you talking about? We're living in the night. We may not have jetpacks and hover cars, but I can make you know what I mean? The hell are you talking about? It's my dear old dad walking in and out of the android's dungeon. Yeah, it might not be cracked worthy, but you know what I mean?
All the time, but it's still the same structure.
I never claimed to be Grandma Moses.
It's still the same limitations right there. And then
that's not the same limitations, right? You know what I mean? Before, it was only producing, these paintings that looked like, vaguely reminiscent of the early Baroque. And now it's producing works that look like Studio Ghibli. You see, it's the same limitations. No, it's added a feature. That's the definition of not the same limitations. That's the definition of an added feature.
My God, have you seen?
And what you do if you're a creative person is you take your prompts, you put it through the Studio Ghibli thing, you edit it, you alter it, you move it around, and then you run it through the Simpsons filter. And then you take that, you make a new prompt, you take that original image, you put it into another non-AIR program, just a graphics program. You alter it, you move it around, you do this, you blend it, you photo blend it, you do this all the thing, and then you turn it into an abstract, you change the prompt entirely again. That's what I know that some people just put in anime waifu, voluptuous, big boobs. I know some people do that, right? Just like some people, produce what's colloquially known as, hotel room art, and some people produce abstracts, and some people say, I like it. It's kitsch. It's this. And some people say, oh, in America, we know the price of everything, but the value of nothing. And there's debates about, is Andy Warhol a really good artist, or is it just that America's lost its mind? And should people really be paying $75,000 for that painting? Are they paying just for it because it was an ex-enslaved person? It just is that person racist because they think it's not worth that much, or is it? There's debates about this stuff, but your argument is overly reductionist because possibly you're not as smart as you think you are.
AI video. Oh God, I can't wait to rip that apart in this
video. No, I know you can't wait. You'll sound like a real smart guy to your fans, who are probably other frustrated artists who can't believe that they're not going to get the commissions that they thought, just like the software technicians and just like the automaker and just like everyone else who's fucked up about not having jobs, or they're scared that they're not having jobs and they're going to blame AI when they really should blame billionaires and capitalism.
Video, because that is a disaster. But this is just marketing. This is very strategic.
This is called photo bashing, where I use royalty-free user-submitted image websites. No, that's nothing like the theft you use. Yes, it is ethical because these photographs are listed for free by artists that make them. Please don't bother saying it's similar. Lol. Oh, don't bother saying it's similar. Don't make an argument, because your argument is invalid off the cuff. Actually, the argument is valid. Hey, AI users, this is called photo bashing, where I use royalty-free user-submitted image websites. No, that's nothing like the theft you use. It's similar. It could be argued that it's similar. And the AI end user is not the person that is the theft you're implying is the argument regarding the large language models and the pre-digested imagery. I don't know. That's a separate line of argumentation to do with AI technology and who owns what, and we can get into that, which dovetails into a lot of other capitalist arguments and anti-capitalist arguments. But photo bashing, I'm not saying it's unethical, because I think photo bashing is completely ethical, but there are absolutely arguments and debates that could be could be had, and to say that we can't have the argument is just you being, quite frankly, childish. You can try to shut down the argument, okay? But you, my friend, have fine art degrees. I have a degree in jurisprudence. I am well versed in the art of debate, and you can try to shut down an argument just by saying, don't even try and make the argument. That's fine. You've lost the argument by definition. You may find people that will agree with you because they want to agree with you, but that agreement will not be logically or rationally sound. You can step up to a higher level, but you can only do so by engaging in the argument. Sir, ask a history teacher. They might be next door.
It's not an actual big update. AR is extremely aged out at this point after 2 little baby years of being in its fragile existence right here, but it's necessary for it because that novelty sustains people. It keeps them hooked. It gives them a little taste of what they think that they could do, but they're still running up against the same walls. They just don't realize it yet, do they, artists? But one thing,
do they artists, like addressing everyone else as artists. Meanwhile, art, like anyone can call themselves an artist. Like I said, is Sid Vicious a musician? Was Sid Vicious a musician? I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm not saying he was. Was G.G. Allen a musician? I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm not saying he was. Grandmaster Flash, tearing it up on the wheels of steel. Musician? How about Charles Markley, a turntablist of a different stripe? Musician? He considered himself more of an artist, but I think you get my point. You may get my point. You may not. Jackson Pollock. Some artists say he wasn't an artist. I'd be interested to hear what the art mentor thinks. Aldo Fulfi?
I think that we should all really thank this for is thanks for the multi-billion-dollar meme generator. Like most of the time when people are heavily using this is that they're not actually trying to create any type of a business, nor are they ever going to make any money from it. And I'll definitely expose that one today. But
they're not trying to make a business. Is that the definition of an artist? You gotta be in it to. You're not even trying to make a business. We'll get to it. Remember this, folks. I started the art mentor, just like I'll show you how to make it in the art world. I'll connect you. Let's just hold on. I'm gonna skip.
But they're actually just making really stupid, childish memes for social media. Wow!
How dare you? Stupid, childish memes for social media. That's not art, isn't it? Is it not? Is it? It's kind of art, arguably. This guy's an idiot.
Wow. Thanks so much for scraping all the artwork in the world just so that you can go ahead and appease preteens. Good.
You're welcome. Also, are preteens the only people who appreciate stupid shit and memes on the internet? You wish. You fucking wish, homie.
For you, AI. So to get my future prediction for what will happen in the next couple of years, I think that first off, you're going to see more gimmicks, more minor shifts, and you could try and go ahead and tell me about LoRa's and private training models and all.
See, meanwhile, you just gave it away. People are telling him all this shit. He doesn't want to hear it. La 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 la. I surmise based on his attitude.
Nonsense, but it's all the same stuff. It's the same exact limitations versus what you as an artist could do. So, my friend,
because you're unlimited, you believe in yourself. Good. You're an artist. First of all, artists like. If you're under the impression, I used to be under the impression, right? Business people, mathematicians, accountants, right? People who work on cars. Those people are straight-laced, in the box, don't get it, closed-minded people, and artists and writers and poets and people that want to be in the theater, those people are free spirited and open minded and think outside of the box, and they're creative, and they're good people, and they like and they're caring, and they're the good people. And then I started dealing with people in the real world and grew up. There are so many artists that are stupid, dumb, closed-minded, shut down, just absolutely. And there's so many artists that are conservative in their methodologies, their thinking processes, their religious beliefs and worldviews. There's so many. There are artists that and writers that produce brilliant works, brilliant pieces of literature, brilliant pieces of work, theater, poetry that are homophobic, transphobic, bigoted pieces of fucking garbage. Addressing artists as a class, as a as a as a population is like addressing Americans or Germans or the French. It makes perfect sense to those individuals who are stupid enough to think that that makes sense and to be like, I'm an American. And that, to be to get fucking pumped at like, Invasion USA by Chuck Norris. You know what I mean? Do you love do you think that like Americans are like this, like that? Do you think Japanese people are all like this, all like that? No, everybody's fucking different. But this guy's addressing artists. Like artists are like one thing. What is an artist? There's some people who think that they're artists. They produce absolute and total ding dang crap. There are people out there that are doing real art that, God damn it, I give them an AI art subscription. Stop, you know what I mean?
Opinions. Don't think that this can outdo you because it really can't. It will.
It's not a competition. Everyone do their own shit. Hip hop is not anti rock and roll. Rock and roll is not anti hip hop. It's not a competition. You like techno, you want to get a drum machine? A drum machine is not a machine designed to kill drummers. The drum machine is not intended, it does not need to be interpreted, it does not need to be seen. The drummer does not need to have an instinctual reaction to a drum machine in a studio or an environment and think and feel and experience like that drum machine is trying to fucking kill me. Some in the 80s, when drum machines first came out, some drummers reacted that way and freaked out about it. And some drummers, Phil Collins, many, Bill Bruford, a lot of drummers immediately ran out, holy crap, and immediately went out and bought drum machines. We're excited as shit about it and started to play and jam along with them and recognize it's not a and or. It's not a this or that. It's it's you can add it to it. There's nothing stopping you from jamming with the drum machine as a drummer. There's nothing stopping you from playing along with it. Some people saw sampler technology come along and freak out, started screaming and suing people. Some people saw hip hop and sampling technology come along and started to get involved and bought samplers. You don't have to. Harlan Ellison never bought a computer. wrote his final manuscript, right? On a, you know what I mean? On a non-electric manual typewriter. That's not him being a Luddite. That wasn't him making a mistake or critical error. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Hold on. Did I not plug the shit in? Hold on. Oh, the shit got unplugged. Hold on. Oh shit. Fuck. We almost lost, like, you know what I mean? Speaking of which, I almost lost battery power. Damn.
Perpetually have the same issues, and it will eventually probably have to pay artists. And I'll discuss that today in a bit.
This guy have to pay artists. Okay, I mean, there's lawsuits pending. You know, first of all, I mean, look, there's an over/under on whether or not, you know what I mean, we're going to live that much longer on planet Earth. I have no idea. Nobody knows what's going to happen.
As well. So was it right to say that it died? Well, I'm just going to say that it stagnated. And if you look at that as death, you're either moving forward or you're dying. And that's the way life works. Now, my next big claim, I think, is something that I really want all of my artistic friends to listen to. Because when AI first came out, what its big time promise was that it was going to go ahead and cut out the big fat cats out of everything. And that everything that you'd be able to create would be able to be created solely by you. And then you would be able to reap all those benefits, and you would be able to solely reap all those rewards. And at that time, too, they were promising, oh my God, this would be the future of all art jobs. And it would be taking away every single art job out there. But in fact, there's only two types of jobs that exist because of AI image generation. And that's in business and in engineering. Nothing to do with.
That's 100% categorically wrong. I don't know what the fuck he said, but I was typing, so let me just rewind that a second, because that was just, I didn't even need to hear that in full to know that he just said something that was just bad shit crazy. Hold on.
With art, and we're going to discuss today too why
he keeps on saying what we're going to discuss today and then not
in
discuss
engineering. Art job out there. But in fact, there's only two types of jobs that exist because of AI image generation, and that's in business and in engineering.
100% categorically untrue. First of all, what does that mean? Business and engineering. What does that mean? What is business? That, I mean, that's a blanket term. No, absolutely. 100% there are people that have jobs in AI. It's just wrong. There are people that have jobs in AI. Wait, what does that mean? That's like saying that there are people. That's if you're in the music business, you're either a musician or someone in the music business that's not a musician. That's just a ridiculous statement.
Nothing to do with art, and we're going to discuss today.
What? That's
to why that's not going to ever be a threat to you as a real artist. Now, have some jobs been lost? Unfortunately, yes.
You just contradicted yourself. That's never going to be a threat to you as art. Have some jobs been lost? Yes. Okay, I have no.
This is just companies testing the water. Anymore. They don't know any better. This is a untried, untrue product. And unfortunately, what I think we're all going to have to accept is that if you're seeing some of those jobs go away, first and foremost, don't panic. Don't think that you have no promise, no potential, no future, friend. But we have to understand this. We have to just let these companies fail. They're making a.
What companies fail? It is what it is. Companies come. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I have no faith in this individual's ability to predict the future. He keeps on saying that he AR, it's been dying for 2 years, and I predicted it. AR, it's been dying for 2 years, and you predicted it? It's been dying for 2 years? By what metric is it dying? Because as far as I know, people who are complaining about AI art are still complaining about AI art, and AI art and generative AI writing is still here and present, and AI is still the talk of the town. People, if you want to talk about cryptocurrency dying, you might have something to talk about. If you want to talk about, you know what I mean, the bottom is falling out of the Beanie Babies collector's market, and nobody's talking about Funko Pops the way they used to, you might have a leg to stand on. But I don't know where we're going with this AR. It's been dying for 2 years because I think, you know, it's been on kind of an upswing. I don't have a horse in this race. I don't give a shit. I like AI art tools, you know what I mean? And I use them and I enjoy making AI art. I really, you know, I'm not impassioned about this. You know, you kind of, you know, are getting my, you know, blood boiling a little bit because you're kind of, you know, Well, you're insulting people. You know what I mean? You're kind of argumentative by nature, and I'm kind of responding, I feel.
Poor short-term decision. And AI is a terrible investment that will never pay it back. But we just gotta let these companies figure it out. So y'all just hold tight on this. Watch what happens. In fact, ironically, everybody that has been attempted to be hired within AI has been promptly, see what I did there, fired because they
You know everybody in AI art, and they've all been fired. Well, I mean, layoffs or what? I don't know the hell you talking, but no, everybody, and everybody's been fired. This guy just makes hyperbolic statements out the wazoo, which I think is a very good way to make. He's got 24.8 thousand subscribers. Good for you, boy. On ya. All right.
they have nothing else that they can do, and they can't get over
They got nothing else they could do.
their
Okay.
own limitations. And just looking at like what AI could do. First and foremost, AI can't even get a rocket to the moon, turn around, and come back all by itself.
No one else is even trying. AI can't get a rocket to the moon. What the hell is he talking about?
Nor can they also, I don't know, go ahead and drive me to work and allow me to sleep in my car and then go ahead and drive me back. Those are both one-trick ponies, y'all. Just to put this in.
You're talking about apples and oranges. I thought we were talking about AI art here. That's like saying, okay, you know what I mean? Coco the gorilla can do sign language, but can she kick my ass? The hell are you talking about? I thought we were talking AI art produces pleasant visual images for people to look at. That's what AI art does. ChatGPT does various other tasks for me. That's what it does. Does Elon Musk robo taxis work? Okay, no, but that's Elon Musk's problem with the robo taxis there, son.
In perspective for you. They have one singular goal, one singular task to do. Like, but why is art achievable? That's so laughable. And the big thing that
it's not laughable, and for there's other things that's achievable too. The hell, I love you, baby. I love you, kid. I really do. You're upset because you're not selling your D&D commissions. This guy wants to sell D&D commissions. This you go to his thing, go to his Instagram. You're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. He wants to do D&D commissions. No one's going to buy any D&D commissions in 2025 because everyone with AI, with Gemini AI or ChatGPT or whatever, or Woob or a Dream or whatever can do everything that he fucking does with by themselves. Yeah, it fucking sucks if you're an artist and you used to want to think, and it's not going to put. I'm going to say this. You're going to get insulted. Quote unquote real artists out of work because real artists who are producing impassioned, non-genre work, right? The people that are panicked about this shit are the people that are producing the D&D and the leather ladies with the bustiers and the shit. That's what the AI art really does well, right? It produces the comic book shit with the chicks and the dudes with the and the guy and the flaming skull. So the people that used to do the flaming skull art and the heavy metal tattoo bullshit, they're the ones that are all fucked up about it. The guys that used to do H.R. Geiger and call themselves artists, and they're going to say that the AI is ripping them off. Yeah, you were just producing H.R. Geiger shit and calling yourself. Yeah, it was hard. I can't do that shit, but it's not like you invented that shit. You were just ripping off H.R. Geiger. You were. Everybody knows that this shit is just the people that are fucking panicked about this shit are the people that produce genre stuff. It's the people that produce manga looking stuff. It's the people that produce the heavy metal album cover looking stuff. It's the people that produce the hip hop artists looking stuff. It's the people that produce the graffiti artists looking stuff. And the people that produce stuff that looks like shit that they just do themselves because it's just shit that they invented, art that just looks like shit that they came up with, that doesn't look like Dungeons and Dragons shit, and it doesn't look like shit that you look like that you'd see in Hot Topic or on any sort of album cover or anything. It looks like, oh yeah, I like that. It looks like hip hop, or it looks like heavy metal, or it looks like this thing, or it looks like a diamond with the fucking emo thing, or looks like scene stuff, or it looks like punk rock or whatever. Those people, they're the ones that are fucked up about it. But guess what? Shit happens. I can tell you there have been industries before AI, in industries, the industry that I work in, there have been people whose entire firms were based on stuff. And all of a sudden, the bottom just fell out of that sort of work and they just had to fucking pivot. They had to. Some of them started drinking, some of them got fucked up about it, and some of them fucking pivoted. Some of them late in life.
That I want to go ahead and push here is just the fact that there's no remarkable AI products. Nobody is talking, nobody is heavily consuming any of this
Yeah, there's no remarkable AI products.
crap. And when you really take a look at it, the only reason that people actually get any type of notoriety for anything that's even instituting AI is the fact that it's made with AI. Nobody celebrates the user. In fact, the software gets all of the credit. So what are you doing? You're actually doing what AI posits itself to not do, which is to just put more money back in the hands of corporations. So great.
This guy's, let's just take a look at his fucking channel. I just want you to see something. Okay. Hey, this may verge on the ad hominem, but I think that's what this dude, I think his AI art criticism is personal. I think it's personal. I think he doesn't like AI art because of what he thinks the impact it's going to have on him personally as an artist. Now, what I want to do is say this. I think he is if you look at his videos, let's look at his little description here. Description: learn pro tips, get art clients, and get paid more for your art. Exclamation point. Here you'll learn how to build your artistic brand, get art commissions, improve your craft, and realize your passion for making artwork. What comes first, right? I passionately believe that anyone can make art at a high level, regardless of where they are in their current abilities. Being an artist is a journey, not a destination, and you don't have to walk that path alone. I look forward to bringing you solid instructions, strategies, and mindsets of proficient artists and motivation that will help you realize your unlimited artistic potential. Dude, all I'm saying is get art clients and get paid more for your art. Here you'll learn how to build your artistic brand and get art commissions. Dude, art and commerce. Some people have no problem with capitalism. Some people have no problem getting paid. If AI art stole your dreams, you really need to hear this. Pro artists do this. You shouldn't, and they're bad ideas. Check out this dude's LinkedIn. Is he a pro artist? Find art clients without social media or following. It's simple. Making art with no fear and actually finishing. Who buys expensive art and how do you get them? Good news, you can raise art prices now and stop waiting. Worst, art business ideas and why they don't work. Look at these thumbnails. These 10 simple things fixed my art life and income. Why some artists do better and some never make it. Why nobody is buying your art and art clients hate working with you. The dude's a high school teacher, in case you're curious. At least he's not updated his LinkedIn. I love the guy. Human being, child of God, child of goddess. But don't quit your day job. And you can fool some of the people some of the time. but you can't fool all the people all the time. Or maybe you just didn't update your LinkedIn, which is entirely possible. There's nothing wrong with juggling two balls. And there's nothing wrong. Hey, there's nothing wrong with hustling on YouTube. But this sort of hustle is the exact same hustle that we see a million times over on YouTube. Make your YouTube channel grow. How I sold 10,000. How I made $10,000 in 3 months with AI art coloring books on Amazon. And I'll show you how. Reach out. I'm looking for brave entrepreneurs to contact me. Only the brave ones. Want to know how I used AI art to get these fine, fine women and how to make this rock and roll? Click link in the description box below. Seats are limited. Swag now. Sales, 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 sales. Queen of, oh shit. Queen of Pentacles, baby. Is this your card? Queen of Pentacles. Pentacles. Yo. Damn. The suit. Hey. The suit of Earth. Oftentimes, the suit of commerce. The Queen. Maybe a reminder that we could use a little bit more feminine energy in the house. Oh, shoot. Wow. I had a card drop out and I didn't even see Temperance. Wow. Temperance. You know what? Taking those two together, talk about that feminine energy and then seeing Temperance. Man, maybe I'll take this opportunity to offer an apology. You know what? I know enough to keep myself in check, even after I've already wrecked myself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Well, maybe it's a little too late for that, but I think we can all safely assume that our friend in Christ, the art mentor, ain't never going to see this video. Maybe we'll all be the better for it, but maybe despite that, my points will still have been made to whoever will have the opportunity to have seen them, if only to give you food for thought. May the words find you where they find you, and with an open mind, may you hear them. And with open ears and an open mind, may you take them in, and may they be of some service to you. To do with as you wilt. I love you, I love you, I love you. And if no one told you they loved you today, somebody just did. Until next time, forever yours, Chanter.